Hello, everyone. I'd like to tell you about the Women's Moon Circle I'll be holding through 2024. It's a full moon circle, and we'll be meeting on the Saturday closest to the full moon every month. And it's an online circle, so it doesn't matter where you live in the world, as long as you've got an internet connection, you can join the circle. We will be exploring the energies of different goddesses and different crystals as we move through the year based on the themes that we're going to work through. I've already hosted a moon circle over 2023, which has been absolutely phenomenal. I've thoroughly enjoyed running this women's circle. There is something really exceptional when women gather together in circle. The energy is very special. And I've found that connecting with the goddess and connecting with the moons in this more organized way, I've done it for years myself, but actually structuring that around the themes has been really beneficial. And I know other women in the circle have found this as well. It's really helped to keep us on track with our projects. And it's been fun to share with each other loads of synchronicity and goddess energy coming in to support us. If you're interested in joining, you will need to join for the year, because we build trust with each other in circle. So there already are some women coming through from the 2023 circle continuing to 2024, but I have some spaces available if you want to join us. And it's really lovely to see people get to know each other as we meet and as the year progresses. So it is the idea is you are committing to the monthly circle. These are the themes that I have planned for you. So in January, the first moon, we are flowing with the cycles of the moon. So finding out how the moon affects us as women, what's happening when the moon's waxing and full and waning. And we're getting to know the lunar goddesses and connecting to them using moonstone. And we'll also use selenite for that moon cycle. So two crystals that you probably have. I've tried to stick with crystals that most people who like crystals will have already in their collection, or that are very accessible and affordable for you. The second moon is going to be, we're walking the spiral path of the goddess. You know, masculine energy goes very straight lines, very linear. The feminine likes to meander, to take its time, to take in the scenery, to do that self-development, to flower. And that's what we're going to be connecting into, that beautiful spiral pathway in our second moon for February. And I think we're going to use snow quartz for that one, which is the white quartz, or milky quartz, you might know it as. Then when we move into March, we're connecting with Mother Earth, we're connecting with Gaia, we're connecting with the flow of the seasons and understanding the wheel of the year. And the crystal that comes to mind for that moon cycle is tree agate, but you might use chrysocolla. For all of these months, there will be alternatives you can use. If you don't have those crystals, there'll be something else you can use. So tree agate's probably the one that we're going to go with, but you might use moss agate, you might use chrysocolla. There are other crystals that suggest that living, earthy, foresty energy. Our fourth moon in April, we're going to be focusing on inner peace and harmony, and which we really need in this world. And sometimes, what's out there is what out there. Sometimes we actually just need to focus inside. We can't control the world out there. We can't stop all the dramatic stuff happening on the news, but we can respond to it differently. That is in our power. So if we actually come into the world with more peace, more harmony in ourselves, I believe that ripples out. That actually helps the world, rather than getting ourselves very worked up and angry or very upset. So that's where we're working for the April moon. And we're going to be working with a very peaceful, very harmonious goddess. And we'll be working with the energy of jade. And then in May, we're going to be looking at finding our strength, finding our focus, perseverance, being able to work at something, maybe quite a big project, from the inception right through to the finish line. And that does take great strength of character, and it does take determination. And we have goddesses that will help us with that, thankfully. Last time we used quartz for that, because that gives you that clarity of vision, that pointed focus, that single pointed focus. But again, well, I might find others. I may suggest other possibilities to you. So you don't need to worry. You don't need to think, oh, well, I might not have that in my collection. I can't do the circle. Of course you can. I would always try to suggest something, or as I say, suggest something that's very affordable, very easily obtainable. Now, sixth moon is about caring for your own health and well-being. There's a lot of sense into looking after your health and boosting your health as much as possible. And we're going to be working with some goddesses of health and healing, probably working with Sunstone, our July moon. We're connecting with hearth and with home. So we're going to be looking for that warmth, for that nurturing, for that, when you come into a welcoming space and you just go, that feels so much better. I can kind of just relax here. And that's what we're aiming for. Whether you've got a big home, a small home, lots of money, not much money, you can still create a nurturing, nourishing environment in your home. And there are goddesses of the hearth and home that will really help you with that. Probably going with garnet for that, but there may be others again that come to mind. But there'll be warming crystals, maybe carnelian for that one. Then in the eighth moon, August, we're going for your authentic self. So, when you go out in the world and you think, oh, I'm too, maybe you're too out there. Maybe you think, oh, I've got to keep that hidden. You just feel inhibited from being your real self. So you kind of wear a mask. But trying to free ourselves from that and bring through as much of our authentic selves as we possibly can, because actually that's the bit that you came in with. That's the important bit, your real self, not all the other bits that have been layered on top. And we'll be working with amber, at least for that moon cycle, to help us with that unleashing of our authenticity. On our ninth moon in September, we're learning through our relationships. I do believe that relationships are the biggest teachers, that they've got so much value in them, even when they drive you crazy. They've got lots of learning in them, and they bring something out in us. Actually, negotiating human relationships is a really, really important part of your soul's development. You can get so much more spiritual growth through relationship, but you don't have to have a partner to do that moon cycle. It can be your relationship with yourself. That's your primary relationship. That's the relationship you'll have from the day you're born to the day you die. And actually, if you have a poor relationship with yourself, then that's really something that you would want to work on first before you look outside of yourself. So we'll be working with lapis, but again, lapis can be a bit expensive. So maybe you'll be working with something similar to lapis. It might be sodalite, which is a much cheaper crystal for that one. And in October, we're going to be tapping into abundance. Don't we all want more abundance? I know I'm quite happy to have more abundance in my life, but not just money. Money's part of it, because in society, if you don't have any money, that can be quite miserable. But it's abundance generally, actually feeling wealthy, feeling abundant, feeling lucky, feeling blessed is all part of the abundance mindset. It's not just about figures in a bank or how much is in your purse. So we're tapping into abundance. We'll be using citrine for abundance. We might use pyrite as well. Lovely golden crystals. And then our 11th moon, we're going to be loving your body. So loving your body is something that I've really been exploring over the last few years, some of you who've been following me for longer know that I run a self-development program for women based on our relationships with our bodies, our relationships with food, called Sacred Vessel, because I do believe that this body is here to support our soul as we come into each incarnation. We need a body, otherwise we can't do the physical world, and we owe our body deep care and love and respect for being that vessel for our soul. And that includes actually learning to love your body and learning not to pick on it, not to keep starving it or then filling it with junk food or whatever, but actually starting to really respect it and tune into what your body needs. So I say this one is based around my Sacred Vessel materials. It's just a little taster of that, but it is about loving your body, caring for your body. And of course, we're using rose quartz. Of course we are, for that one. And then our 12th moon, our final moon of the year, final moon of 2024, will be claiming your sovereignty. So actually saying, I am queen of my own domain. I am in charge and the ruler of my life. So it's really getting empowered in yourself, not to boss other people around and rule over them, but to actually allow yourself to take on that level of power and authority for yourself. And for that one, we'll be working with jewels, and you might have some jewelry already. Maybe you have got faceted gemstones that you wear in jewelry, or maybe you have the rough versions of those. So you might have a rough piece of emerald, or you might have an emerald ring, or you might have a rough ruby. They're quite cheap, or you might have a ruby ring or a ruby necklace. But it'll be something that feels very regal for you. So I hope you'll be able to join me in the coming lunar year. You will need to join before the first full moon circle if you want to be in circle. I only have a limited number of places because I do want to keep circle very friendly. One of the lovely things has been this bond between the ladies who come to circle. So it won't be, you will not come on and find hundreds and hundreds of people on screen. That's not going to happen. So if you do want to join us, I suggest that you get on and book as soon as possible. I've deliberately kept the prices very affordable because I want you to be able to do this. If it's calling to you, if you're thinking, I want to be part of a women's circle, I love crystals, I love the goddess, I want to be part of this, I don't want money to be the reason why you can't come. It's £20 a month as a subscription through the year. Your commitment is for the whole year, but I think most people can find for their self-development, come on, you're worth that. £20 a month is doable for most people, which is why I set that price. Make sure your microphone and make sure your video works, because part of the pleasure of being in circle is we can see each other and we can hear each other. And I will invite you at certain points in the circle to contribute. I usually lead a visualization for you, or a crystal exercise, or a contemplation exercise, a reflection. We do have a little break in the 2 hours, about midway, for a comfort break to go and get a fresh cup of tea. Do you need to have lots of background information about crystals to start, or the goddess? You do not. So respect for the crystals and respect for the goddess is paramount. Yes, of course you need those, but you don't need to have had training in crystal therapy. It is useful to know the basics though, because I'm not going to be teaching you how to use crystals. I would suggest you get yourself a copy of my book, Crystals, because that gives you all the basics you need to know to use crystals safely. And then if you would like some training as well, I have got a video course which goes with this book actually, that takes you through the steps and also includes in that price 1 hour with me one-to-one, so you can ask the questions that you want to ask. So you need a little bit of background about the crystals so that you're using them safely and you understand about things like grounding and protection, but you don't need to have done diploma training or anything like that to take part in the moon circle. And as far as the goddess goes, as long as you are willing to work with the divine feminine and connect with divine feminine energies, you don't need to have background information. I will be introducing the goddesses, I will be introducing the crystals in that recorded new moon introduction each month. Now, if you can't make one of the circles, all is not lost. I know we have busy lives. I'll be recording the parts of the circle I deliver. So you won't get a 2-hour recording because a lot of the circle we are talking to each other, and I do not record that. But the parts where I'm actually delivering the exercises, the visualizations, etc., yes, I will press record for that. So you will have something you can work with even if you can't attend circle. The ideal is, of course, you come to all 12 circles and you'll get the most enjoyment that way. But I know life happens and sometimes it's just not possible to come to everything. So I hope you're interested in joining the Full Moon Circle for 2024 with me. If you've got questions, just drop me a line. You'll find a link in my bio, or you'll find a link under this video. You can contact me through my website, laurendasilva.co.uk. I hope to see you in 2024 for our Women's Circle.